Alright y'all, we're back and today we're going to be going over Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection as usual. But we're going to be ranking these games, from 7 to 1. I'm sure everybody's been playing the Fighting Collection so far and enjoying themselves. You have your favorite games, you have your least favorite games on the Fighting Collection. But we're going to see if thegamer.com got this rating right, as far as ranking them from 7 to 1. And I actually want to see what you guys rank these games from your least favorite to your favorite game on this Fighting Collection. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like, comment something on the video. Also, let's get to 10,000 subscribers and let's get to it. All right, shout outs to thegamer.com. Every game in Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics ranked. And this is by Alexander Pinera. The Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection brings together some of the most iconic games in the franchise. This includes classic beat-em-ups featuring the X-Men and the first ever clash between Marvel and Capcom franchises. The collection also includes a bonus game in the form of the 1993 Punisher title. Dope, dope, dope. So with the 7 games included, which ones are the ones that you just can't get enough of? All of them have the iconic action that will have you bashing enemies, using powers, and even teaming up for some co-op fun. Here is every game in the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics ranked. All right, let's see. Number 7 that you see, X-Men Children of the Atom. All right, did they get that one right? Out of all the games in Fighting Collection, I say they're saying that their least favorite, or most people that voted or whatnot, saying that X-Men Children of the Atom is their least favorite game on the Fighting Collection. And I like all the games on the Fighting Collection actually, but they're saying number 7 is X-Men Children of the Atom. How do you feel about that? Do you think X-Men Children of the Atom is number 7 on, as far as least favorite to the best on the Fighting Collection? Let me know. Let's get back to it though. All right, number 7, X-Men. Let's see. Franchise, Marvel vs. Capcom platforms. Yeah, PS1, Sega Saturn. That's crazy, man. Do y'all remember Sega Saturn? Came out January 5th, 1995. The developers, Capcom, Rootable Games, Probe Entertainment, Capcom, Acclaim Entertainment. How long to beat the game? It only takes an hour to beat the game. That's crazy. Before the Avengers became the most trending group of comic book heroes, X-Men were all the rage. X-Men Children of the Atom was the first Marvel game released by Capcom. Before they could bring both franchises together, Children of the Atom started smaller with only X-Men characters available to choose from in the roster. Number 7, y'all. This includes classic powerful mutants such as Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Colossus. It's a pretty straightforward fighting game that doesn't include the Infinity Stones or even the tag team character selection as in some of the later games. However, it's still a fun fighting game, even with a limited roster of characters. Just because it's on the bottom of the list, it doesn't mean it's a bad in any way. I can agree with that. Number 7, Children of the Atom. From my opinion, it does play kind of slow, but I think you can go in and you can edit it if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't even tried out yet if Children of the Atom has an online presence yet. I haven't even checked to see if I can get some online matches on Children of the Atom. I don't know yet. All right, let's go to number 6, The Punisher. And it's crazy, I haven't even played The Punisher yet, and I need to, which I'm gonna do that this weekend, over the weekend, probably today if I have enough time. Let's see, franchise platform, Sega Genesis. Shout out to that Sega, man. Came out April 22nd, 1993. Capcom Sculpted software. Takes an hour to beat. Let's open it up. Yeah, it said it takes an hour to beat. Publisher Capcom's. Alrighty. Punisher may be an extra title in the collection, but it's actually quite fun. It may not feature every single hero from the comic book franchise, but it does focus on the title of the game. This is the Punisher, and he is on a quest to stop Kingpin. This classic arcade beat 'em up feels satisfying to play and even more satisfying to make progress in. So let's see. Yeah, this is because it ramps up the difficulty with enemies that swarms you from all sides. Luckily, you don't have to do all this alone as the game is multiplayer co-op and you can get infinite continues. Regardless, it still feels like the game is trying to beat the arcade tokens out of you. It is also one of the shorter titles in the collection, great for a quick experience. I haven't played this on the Fighting Collection yet. Yeah, number 6 seems like a good spot for it. It can actually be swapped out for 6 or 7. It could easily be number 7. Children of Adam could be number 6 though, because I think it has more online playability than the Punisher. If you're playing like 2 players, you only get to play against, well, play with 1 person online, unless there's other online modes that I don't know of though. But you're only really playing with like 1 person as far as co-op and stuff, opposed to you're playing online with, with Children of the Atom. You beat somebody online and you get to play against even more people, unlimited people really, when you're playing globally or domestically. I don't know, it could easily be number 7, but I'm not mad at it being number 6. Could be number 7 though. I think that might change later. Depends on how I feel and how you guys feel. Let me know, should the Punisher be number 6 or number 7? Is it Children of Adam should be number 7 or should it be number 6? Let me know. All right, number 5, Marvel Superheroes, Avengers and X-Men Assemble. Marvel Superheroes came out in October 24th, 1995. Let's see, franchise, Marvel vs. Capcom franchise, platforms, PS1, Sega Saturn, and arcade. Y'all remember playing this in arcade? Let's see, developers Capcom, publishers Capcom, takes an hour to beat. All right, Marvel Superheroes was a crossover within itself, following the all too familiar storyline of the Infinity Saga. Marvel Superheroes brought in the Avengers to deal with the threat of Thanos. However, unlike the films, the X-Men are also included as they fight alongside the world's greatest heroes. Marvel Superheroes is dope, definitely, man. This is the game, and the beginning screen is actually super dope too. Well, the character select screen. This is also that introduced the Infinity Stones as fighting games mechanics. Players can harness these stones during the fight to refill their health or for a power boost. This made the game pretty dynamic for the time, and as a Marvel fighter, it's not half bad. The real meat of the collection though is when Marvel collides with Capcom, and that is yet to come. How do we feel? So number 7 so far was X-Men Children of Adam. Number 6 was the Punisher, and number 5 is Marvel Superheroes. Are we cool with that spot? Do you think Marvel Superheroes is better than X-Men Children of the Atom? Yeah, so do you think it is? Can it be switched? Can it be dropped down to number 6 or 7? Can it be? Who knows? I don't know. But nah, it's dynamic though when you add the Infinity Stones. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. Right now it said number 5. Number 4, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. This game was hard. This game is super hard though, man. Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. So we had number 4, franchise Marvel vs. Capcom, came on PS1, arcade, and Sega Saturn. I remember playing this in arcade. Release August 27th, 1997. See, publisher and developers, takes an hour to beat. If you thought X-Men were cool enough, you haven't seen anything yet. This time, the barrier between Marvel characters make it into the roster is lifted. You can play as new heroes such as Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Hulk. Meanwhile, the Street Fighter portions also gets a few familiar Capcom faces such as Chun-Li, Ryu, and Ken. Yeah, man, I remember playing this. The roster is pretty nice compared to the games that came before it, but unless you are specifically into Doctor Strange, let's see, ER and Marvel side feels a little bit lacking despite their inclusion. This what really keeps it from going up in the ranking, but otherwise it's still a fun time, even if it's not the go-to game in the collection. Can we agree that number 4 is the correct spot for it? So number 7 is, what was it, X-Men Children of the Atom. Number 6 is the Punisher. Number 5 is Marvel Superheroes. Number 4 is a Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. And number 5 was Marvel Superheroes. And then number 4, I'll make sure I'm getting it right. Number 4, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Are we cool with that? I think that's the right spot for it, because I don't think any of the bottom 3 are better than this game. I don't think it is at all. Y'all let me know in the comments. All right, we're going to the top 3 now. The top three. Number 3, X-Men versus Street Fighter. Let's see, the first rounds begins. X-Men versus Street Fighter, and this is actually the game that introduced me, versus game series and stuff as far as like Marvel vs. Capcom and games of these nature. Franchises, Marvel vs. Capcom, platforms, arcade, how I got introduced to it, PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn, released October 4th, 1996, developers and publishers, Capcom, takes 1 hour to beat. X-Men versus Street Fighter can be considered the start of a formula that would eventually become the mainline Marvel vs. Capcom games. The most notable difference is that this game exclusively pits the X-Men and the Street Fighter roster. This is where the tag team gameplay that the franchise is known for comes from. Y'all have heard this story I told about X-Men vs. Street Fighter for sure. While some would consider the game broken with characters such as Wolverine and Omega Red being ridiculously overpowered, it is all part of the charm. It's also a pretty fast-paced title in which the animation keeps up with the speed to look absolutely fantastic. From the moment the intro starts playing to when you finally put down the fight stick, X-Men vs. Street Fighter is a historic moment in the franchise history you don't want to forget. This is the perfect spot for it. Is it debatable that Marvel Super Hero vs. Street Fighter is better than X-Men vs. Street Fighter? It's debatable. I don't know. It's debatable. But X-Men vs. Street Fighter at number 3 is probably in the right spot, but it could switch out for number 3. All right, number 7 is X-Men Children of Atom. Number 6 is The Punisher. Number 5 is Marvel Superheroes. Number 4, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Number 3, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Are we cool with that ranking? I don't know, it's debatable. It could switch out with Marvel Superhero vs. Street Fighter. You know, I feel like those two could switch. 3 and 4 are interchangeable. Let me know in the comments. All right, the top 2. Number 2, as expected, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes. The first true Marvel vs. Capcom game. This game is so iconic, man. If y'all understood what this game started, man. Franchise Marvel vs. Capcom, arcade, Sega Dreamcast, PS1, PS3, Xbox 360. Released January 23rd, 1998. Developers and publishers Capcom. Takes an hour to beat. Despite the collaboration between Marvel vs. Capcom, the first true Marvel vs. Capcom game was Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. While many other entries choose 1 or 2 subsections of the franchise to focus on, this is the one that fully embraced the chaos of Marvel characters fighting members of the Capcom roster. Despite lacking some of the enhancements that would come in later titles, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes manages to be a pretty solid game in this lineup. The roster is also not as big as the collection's major re-release, which just eclipses it in every way. Regardless, it's a decent enough entry that includes big names such as Spider-Man, Mega Man, Wolverine, and Ryu. Obviously, we know what number 1 is. Y'all let me know, where were you in life when you first played Marvel vs. Capcom? I remember where I was. Obviously I played at arcade first, went to Game Crazy, and I bought the game. I bought the PlayStation version, the one where you couldn't tag out. I still had fun, but I wish I had the version that you could tag out. But when I finally got my Dreamcast, I finally got the Marvel vs. Capcom, the version that you could tag out on. You know, and this game was super fun. Air combos in general, decent roster. You know, for Captain Commando, Spider-Man, War Machine, Wolverine, Ryu. This was a really good game. If I can say anything about this game, history in the making, it's definitely in the right spot, number 2. Y'all let me know so far if the ranking is right so far. We're at number 7, X-Men Children of the Atom. Number 6, Punisher. Number 5, Marvel Superheroes. Number 4, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Number 3, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Number 2, Marvel vs. Capcom. And we're moving on to number 1. You guessed it, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We knew this one was gonna be number 1 off rip. We should have known that. Like, we know this is obviously the best, by far the best game in the fighting collection. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Franchise Marvel vs. Capcom platforms, arcade, iOS. That's crazy that was on iPhone. Sega Dreamcast, PS2, PS3, Xbox, the original, and then Xbox 360. It was released June 29th, 2000. Man, I think I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I was in 8th grade. How long it takes? It takes 2 hours to beat. Developer Capcom, Backbone Entertainment. Shout out to Backbone Entertainment and Capcom. Publishers Capcom and Virgin Interactive. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 just never gets old, does it? The game was released in the year 2000, and over 24 years later, it is still considered one of the greatest fighting games of all time. Absolutely, man. This is also the game where the 3v3 system was implemented, as you can choose 3 characters to switch between in one of the largest rosters. The number of rosters at this time was unheard of, man. The game has too much replayability with a fantastic soundtrack and 2D sprites that have aged like fine wine. The only other game I can think of that has better backgrounds is Capcom versus SNK 2. That's the only game I can think of that has better backgrounds and better music. To me, it does. Capcom versus SNK 2 are even. I would say it's even as far as like the music goes or whatever. But Capcom versus SNK 2 is the only game that has better backgrounds or whatever as far as fighting game goes and stuff in that genre. Every combo just feels smooth, and there are so many ways to make comeback against your opponent that leaves you feeling satisfied for pulling it off. What makes this game even better than before is the community can come back to life with modern support on newer systems, man. Shout outs to thegamer.com. Alrighty, so here are my thoughts, man. Let's see, as far as the ranking goes, I think it's in the right spot. I feel like the ranking is spot on. Let's see, number 7. Number 7 was X-Men Children of the Atom. Number 6 was The Punisher. I feel like those two are interchangeable. Depends on what you like in as far as his fighting collection goes, even though it's kind of not fair though because of the beat 'em up as far as Punisher goes. But number 6 is The Punisher. Number 5 was Marvel Superheroes, rightfully so. But is it interchangeable with X-Men Children of the Atom? That's debatable. So is Marvel Superheroes better than X-Men Children of the Atom? Yeah, it is though, because it has the Infinity Stone. So, let's see, what was that? 7, 6, 5, 4. Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. That's definitely none of the bottom 3 is better than that though. So 4 is like the perfect spot for it. X-Men versus Street Fighter being at number 3. I think that's debatable. If X-Men versus Street Fighter is better than Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, that's debatable to me. Let me know in the comments which one is better out of X-Men versus Street Fighter and Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Now, the top 2 aren't up for debate though. Number 2, Marvel vs. Capcom, and then number 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the GOAT. I think we are all in agreement that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the best game on Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. But yeah, though, man, I think this list is spot on as far as ranking though. It's debatable with a few spots though, but I think they're pretty spot on though. Shout out to thegamer.com for this article. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the ranking. How do you rank these games from 7 to 1, you know, as far as like, you know, this fighting collection goes? Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and views. But you already know it's Dude Man's Architect Mr. J with another video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like, comment, share. Let's go ahead. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And I think I'm at 1,700 right now. 16 or 1,700, I believe. But let's get to 10,000 subscribers though, man. Until next time, peace. We back, baby. We back. Let's do it. Punisher. Oh, that Kingpin? Hey, I'm playing that. X-Men Children of the Atom. Marvel Superheroes. Another classic. One of the GOATs. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, baby. Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. All right, Cyber Akuma. The GOAT. One of the GOATs. Marvel vs. Capcom. That's Dark Chun-Li. The GOAT of all GOATs, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, baby! Legendary crossovers all in one collection. Worldwide. All right. Across the globe. Let's go. Casual matches. Lobby matches. Rank matches. Oh, high score challenge. I gotta do that. New features. Training mode stuff, helpful. One button special moves. Save and load anywhere. New design, documents, and more in the museum. All right, gallery. Oh, it looks dope. Oh, I gotta check the music out. Marquee cards, so some of the move lists. I want to take you for a ride. That's live, man. We here. It's out now. Digital version available now. Physical version November 22nd, 2024.